All right, welcome back. Today we're going to be finishing our family portraits. I'm going to show you how to draw a cat and a dog, and we're going to finish our bodies in a special way that we're going to fill in our frame and our shirts. So first let's do a cat and a dog, and your dog or cat may look a little different than mine, but that's okay. So for my cat, I'm going to do circle eyes like that. And if you don't have a cat, you can just wait till the next part. And cats, we're gonna have a long, thick line instead of a circle, because cats' eyes dilate, and they kind of look like more like a line sometimes than a circle when they get smaller. I'm gonna do an upside down triangle for the kitty's nose, a line down from the triangle with a little smile underneath. And then cats need whiskers, so next to the nose, a little bit above the smile, I'm gonna do some whiskers. And then we're gonna give the cat triangles for ears. Now, for people, you can usually see their necks, but if we're looking at a kitty straight on, unless they're sitting up really tall, we're not gonna see his neck. So we're just going to, instead of 2 lines out like that, we're gonna do 2 lines out like little shoulders. If you have more space, your kitties might go down a little bit more. You can also add a little tail coming out from the side. Okay, let's do a doggy next. We're gonna try it the same way, 2 circles. But instead we're gonna put circles inside. Really big circles, kind of like our people, but way bigger. For the nose, I'm gonna do kind of almost like a square, but kind of rounded. A square circle, kind of like a squircle. And different doggies have different noses. I'm going to put the nostrils, but I'm going to color it in too. After that, I'm going to give the doggy's mouth, kind of like similar to the cat, but this one I'm going to make these more look like 2 separate U's than 1 big U, like the kitty. And dogs do have sometimes kind of have whiskers, but they're definitely not like the cat. So instead of lines, I'm gonna do little dots, kind of above his lip, but below his nose. Okay, my doggy's gonna have floppy ears. So they're kind of like this. It's almost like a jelly bean coming off from the side and connecting back. But depending on what your dog is, you should look at the shape of your dog's ears. Like the cat, do 2 shoulders and a little pointy tail like that. All right, now that I have my animals, I'm going to do the rest of the people because I wanted to make sure my animals were in the right place. So my people need shoulders. So I'm gonna start with my dad. And shoulders, if you think about shoulders, they're wider than your neck. So I'm gonna go wider like this, and we're not gonna see really the arms, we're more just gonna see like the shoulders and the front of the shirt. This one's my mom, line across and down, so just kind of like these rectangles. And I'm just going to, mine are gonna be like they're overlapping, so across and down, across the neck and down. All right. So if you would like to, you can trace your lines. You could do it with a pen or a Sharpie, it's up to you, depending how small the paper is and how small you drew. You also don't have to trace your lines, especially if you drew it kind of dark to start with. But go ahead and either trace your lines or wait till the next part, and then we're gonna talk about coloring and how we can use pressure to color to make different kinds of lines. But if you are tracing, I want you to, if you have both kinds, you can do dark and, or little areas with something skinnier like a pen, or big areas with something thick like a Sharpie. All right, so if you're not done, you can pause. If you traced over with something like a pen or a marker, you can go back and erase some of your pencil lines, but you don't have to. So let's first work on our skin and our hair. So take a moment to color in hair. So let me start with my darkest hair. So I have black hair. And if I had a black crayon, I would use that. My big brother has black hair too. My little brother has brown hair. So does my mom and dad. Now, if you have blonde hair, I'm gonna do my kitty with blonde hair, because he's kind of blonde. It's not quite exactly yellow, it's more like yellow with some tan or brown in it. So let me show you that. So I can start with yellow. Oh, my kitty. But I could use tan and brown kind of lightly and see how it looks more blonde than just straight yellow. While I'm with my kitty, let's get him a little pink nose. Okay, let's talk about skin tone. Now, we are not all the tan or the brown in our crayon box. And what you can practice is doing it lighter or darker, especially if you don't have a tan, or this is like an apricot. So I'm gonna practice on the back. So browns could be really dark, like this. Browns could be medium by adding less pressure. And also brown can be really light. You can also add kind of yellows or reds to browns to make them a little different with colors. But see how much I'm pressing? Not a lot. I'm trying to more shade. Actually, that looks a lot like me. So I'm going to start with me, and I'm going to use this lightly, very lightly. Now my eyes are brown though, so I could use the brown card around the dark parts of my eyes, or the color parts of my eyes. I could also very lightly layer a little bit of yellow and red. And if you're not trying to make lines and you're trying to more make a color by gently layering, it will look more like that. And my lips are gonna be pinkish. Also, if you have white, you can blend with the white. So once you put colors down, if you take a white, you can blend with it, which doesn't look like I have a white. That's okay. Let's see here. My big brother's similar. Not pushing too hard. We'll push hard for his eyes though. And I'm gonna take the peachy color and kind of layer it for his. Also for his lips, I'm gonna do the peachy color a little darker. My little brother is kind of just like the peachy color, so I'll use that. Push hard for the lips, and push hard for his eyes. My mom's were the peachy color. I'm still not trying to make lines, I'm trying to make kind of just a light shading of the color rather than lots of lines. And my dad too. For his lips, I'm just gonna push hard with the peachy color. So no matter what it is, you should try to not push too hard If you need something darker or lighter, think about pushing harder or lighter, like we did in our farm paint drawing. Okay, our doggy's going to be brown. And he can be more of a medium brown, so I'm gonna push medium. All right, let me show you what we're gonna do for our shirts and our frame. We're not gonna just color them in normally. We're going to go find interesting textures to rub. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're gonna find things around your house that are bumpy or have a texture. Usually things that are hard, like plastic, are really great, or things like this, like placemats. But you're going to do texture rubbings to make designs on shirts and around your frame. So for example, I'm gonna use my placemat on my dad's shirt. So I have to put the placemat underneath my paper, and I want to use my crayon to rub. If you can take if you have crayons without paper, they're the best because you can lay your crayon down like it's taking a nap and then rub. Maybe I'll do that for my brothers as well. And you have to hold still, so this is kind of hard because it's round. Try to hold it still. And rub to get some designs. You could also do this for your background as well. Just use colors that will stand out. This is one of my favorite ones if you have a Target basket. It's really great. This kind of gives this cool design. And you can use the same texture in different places, maybe with different colors, or you can use the same colors but different textures. Just careful not to get crayon on whatever you're rubbing. And like I said, if you would like to color your background after this or use this technique for your background, that is great. Just make sure that you're careful around your people so that they stand out and you can really see them. I think I'm gonna use yellow for my background so that way it's not too distracting. All right, and there you go. There's my family portrait.